Welcome, everyone. You've reached Grandma Mo. We're covering the WNBA playoffs, the first day, Sunday. And this was the last game of the day, and this one was pretty much out of hand by halftime. They were down 45-25 at the half. And it's not like Seattle was playing horrible, but they just couldn't make any shots. Every time the Aces would come down, they'd make their shot practically, and then Seattle would try and come back, and they would just miss. And Malanga had some really chip shots, and she just couldn't make them. And, Seattle they made some, they had gotten it down in the second quarter, back down to 5, but then they just couldn't hold it. They just couldn't make enough shots. And, I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to show the bad shooting percentage from Seattle and good shooting percentage from the Aces. So the Aces outscored them 22-12 in the first and then 23-13. And that 13 came early because they had, knocked the score down to like 5 points because it was up, it was up over 10. And then it got a little higher than that, and they got it back down to 5, but then that was it. That was as close as they got. And then they made another push in the third, but the Aces just came right back, and they just couldn't catch them. So in the third quarter, it was close scoring-wise, but they were already down 20. So the Aces outscored them 31-27, so that added, 4 more points onto that. So they were down 24 by then. And then it was close in the fourth too, 26-25, but they were, so they they lose by 25 points. They just couldn't knock that, get anything off that lead. Once that lead got started right in the beginning, that was it. They just could not, cut into that lead. So looking at the Aces had 5 players in double figures. I can't see the team shooting percentage on what I'm looking at, but here's basically what I'm looking at. A'ja Wilson, 55%. Melissa Smith, 66%. Jackie Young, 66%. She also shot 66% from 3. Chelsea Gray, she only took 4 shots, so she made one 3-pointer. So she was 25%. But she was 1 for 2 from 3. So 50% from there. Jewel Lloyd, 55%. She was 50% from 3. Dana Evans, 45%. Cheyenne Parker Titus, 100%. And then Aaliyah Nye, Megan Gustafson, and Kia Stokes, they didn't score. So you have really high shooting percentages here. 3-point shooting percentages. You have 100, 50, 50, 50, 66. Melissa Smith didn't take any. A'ja Wilson, 50%. Kirsten Bell was 20%. She was 1 for 5. So A'ja Wilson gets 29 points. She went to the line 10 times, made 8 of them. She had 3 steals, 3 turnovers, 2 blocks, 2 assists, 8 rebounds. Melissa Smith had 11 points. She had 9 rebounds. Jackie Young had 18 points. She had 7 assists and 5 rebounds. Chelsea Gray, 5 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Jewel Lloyd had 14 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Dana Evans, 13 points. She had 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And then Cheyenne Parker Titus had 7 points. And then nobody else scored. So for Seattle, they also had 5 players in double figures, but their leading scorer had 16 points, which was Gabby Williams. So Seattle's, where the Aces have 50s and 60s in the shooting percentage, Seattle has Gabby Williams played well. She was 61% she shot. She had 16 points. Nneka was 5 for 10. She was 50. Ezzy was 50, but she only took 2 shots. She only scored 2 points. Brittany Sykes only took 3 shots. She didn't score. Skylar Diggins, 36%. Erica Wheeler, 36%. Dominique Malonga, 36%. All three of them were 4 for 11. That is not going to get it done. That's 33 shots. You made 12 out of 33. If those three players took that many shots, they needed to be like 6 for 11 for Seattle to have any kind of chance. So Diggins had 12 points, Wheeler had 10, and Malonga had 12, and she had 11 rebounds. But she's young. I mean, she's a rookie. She's just got to be, like, because she was fading away. She's 6'6", and she was fading away on some shots. She just got to go strong, make them foul you. Tiffany Mitchell had 6 points. Zaya Cook had 3 points. Lexi Brown had 5 points, but those were all right at the end of the game when the game was pretty much over. So the Aces get the win 102-77, and they win game 1. Let me see here. I know there's 2 games going on. I think the Aces play tomorrow, which would be Tuesday. Let me see here. Yes, they do. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to have Atlanta and Indiana and the Aces in Seattle. And then Wednesday, Phoenix and New York, and then Minnesota and the Valkyries will round up the, the second, all the game 2s. So, it could be over for, if the teams that won win again, it's over for the teams that lose. But, if someone else wins, Seattle, for them to keep going, Seattle's got to win this one. It'll be in Seattle. Indiana's is going to be in Indiana. They are going to have to win to send it to a game 3. And then same thing goes for Phoenix and the Valkyries. So anyway, we'll see what these teams have left in them. And, if they have enough to, force a game 3. And, if Seattle shot better. Plus, Seattle, they're good defensively stealing the ball, but they're really bad on team help defense. I've been covering Seattle all year long, and they just give up layups. If you get by the initial defender, there's no help there. And I don't know why they haven't corrected that. But I see it all the time. You see layups. You see other teams get layups. They don't, and they have tall players. It's not like they don't have the players. It's just, I don't know, they don't communicate, or I don't know. But Seattle's going to have to pretty much shoot they're going to have to shoot over 50% to have a chance in the next game. So anyway, Vegas is on a very long winning streak, and those tend to end at some point. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.